Careblazer, if your loved one with dementia believes they are living decades in the past, you are not alone. They may be looking for parents who have died decades ago. They might think they have a job they have retired from decades earlier. They might believe they are newly married, raising children, or that they're much younger than they actually are. This often leaves us wondering, what the heck is going on? Why do they think this? Should I correct them? Do I go along with it? And the part that caregivers struggle with the most is when you do correct them or you try to reorient them to what is actually happening, things often seem to get worse, not better. Today, I want to explain why this happens using neuroscience and geropsychology, and then show you how you can respond in a way that reduces their distress instead of accidentally creating more. And by the end of this video, you'll understand why their brain does this, why correction usually backfires, and what you can do in the moment to help. When caregivers describe this experience to me, it often sounds like she's waiting for her parents to come pick her up, or she's looking for her children that she thinks are still young or should be coming home from school, or she thinks I'm her sister, not her daughter. It is confusing, heartbreaking, and it can feel like yet another way you are losing them all over again. Here's the most important refrain. Your loved one is not choosing to live in the past. They are not emotionally stuck there, and they're not rejecting you in the present. Their brain can't reliably access recent time. So it's reaching for time periods that are still accessible to them. It's not a psychological defense, it's a neurological reality. The simplest way to understand what's happening is that the brain is losing the now fast. Memory isn't stored like a timeline or a calendar, it's stored in layers. Recent memory relies heavily on the hippocampus and connected networks. And in most dementias, the hippocampus is one of the earliest areas affected. That means recent memories fade first. The sense of now becomes fragile. The present moment collapses. But older memories, especially older, meaningful memories, those are stored across broader networks and tend to survive longer. So when the brain can't retrieve the now, it can retrieve the back then, not because it's accurate, because it's available. That's the brain doing the best it can with what it still has. So why is it that certain time frames show up? Caregivers sometimes wonder, like, why are they stuck in childhood, or why are they stuck in early adulthood? And it's because those time periods were highly rehearsed, emotionally meaningful, repeated often, and deeply wired. Think about how often somebody talked about their parents, their early marriage, their job, their raising of children. Those memories are strong, not only because they are old, but because they were used a lot. And when the brain is struggling, it defaults to what's strongest. And when your loved one believes they're living in the past, it doesn't feel like a memory to them. It feels like a now reality for them. Brain systems that normally say, this is a memory, or this happened long ago, or this happened in the past, they're no longer working reliably. And so the emotional brain starts to fill in the gaps. And that emotional brain gives it its sense of current reality. That's why they don't say, I remember when my mom was alive. They say, where is my mom? And this is the part that could be easy to get stuck in, because we might say, well, your mom died years ago, or oh, you're retired, or this is your house, or your kids are grown. Their brain doesn't experience that as helpful information. It experiences that as confusion, shock, grief, threat. Sometimes it might experience it as a flat out lie, as if you are lying to them. Because in that moment, you're asking their brain to access symptoms that are no longer reliable. So the emotional brain starts to take over instead. That's why correction will often lead to more sadness, more confusion, or more anger. So here's a guiding principle that you might find helpful. Respond to the meaning, not to the time frame. So if they're asking about their parents, the meaning might be, I want safety. I feel alone. I don't recognize where I am. If they think they're going to work, the meaning might be I want purpose. I want routine. I used to feel useful. I have a responsibility. You don't have to lie if that's something you're worried about, but you also don't have to shatter their reality. For example, instead of saying, no, your mom died, you might respond to the meaning of her asking about her mom, which is, you miss your mom, tell me about her. Instead of saying, you don't work anymore, you can say, you've always been such a great worker, or you've always taken such pride in your work. Tell me about your favorite job, or what kind of work did you do? This meets their emotional need without forcing their brain to try to do something that their brain can no longer do. Watching someone you love live in a different time frame or what seems like a different reality can feel extremely painful for you. It's a reminder of what's been lost, about how much things have changed, a reminder that the present is slipping away. It makes sense that that would break your heart. That grief deserves acknowledgement, not a blind eye or silence. So if your loved one is living in the past, just remember that they're not choosing to live in the past. It's not a rejection of you or a symbol of how little you matter to them compared to the things they're remembering. Their brain is just reaching for what it can still access. So let's stop fighting their time frame and start responding to the meaning. That will reduce stress for them. It will reduce stress for you. As always, Careblazer, you're doing an amazing, amazing job. Keep up the great work. I'm sending you so much love. I will be back next week with a new video. If you haven't downloaded your free Careblazer survival guide with 60 plus pages of my best tips, go ahead and hit the description below this video. You can download it for free. All right, sending you love. Bye.
Also, Nico gets a belly rub for every person who subscribes from this video. So if you haven't already, click the red subscribe button. It's totally free, and Nico says thank you very much.